Hello everyone, my name is Milja. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to do my update for the Pandos Eyeshadows project that was created by Alexi. I will have her linked down below. The way I structure Pandos Eyeshadows is I have three categories. First off, I have totally randomized shadows. So I have three eyeshadows that are completely randomized out of my entire collection. I have two shadows that are based off of Lainey's prompts. I will have her linked down below as well. I added some of my own prompts and all that kind of stuff. And the last shadow comes from a focus palette. So, all of my eyeshadows, except for one, have been in since the last update. So I had a huge update last update, and we have some rollouts. So let's just jump right in. I think I'm gonna start off with the totally randomizable shadows. The first eyeshadow, they all rolled in last update. The first one being the lovely Pastel Tropics palette, and I rolled in the shade number 3, which is this shade right here. And as you can see, I did heat pan on this. It was just a lid setting shade. I used it 10 times to heat pan. These are pretty shallow pans, and I heat pan. So we have our first rollout right here. The next shadow that I rolled in comes from the Beauty Bay and Dumbo palette. It is so cute. I rolled in the shade Dumbo Eyes, which is the darker blue in the palette. As you can see, I have not hit pan on this. These are, compared to other Beauty Bay shadows, the shadows in these palettes are very, very firmly pressed. And yeah, so you can still see the Mickey Mouse on here. Uh, yeah. I reached for this shadow a couple of times as well to blend this out, but anyway, I used this shade 8 times. Um, and if you guys didn't know, I have a 15 use rollout kind of goal, so I only need to use it 7 more times to be able to heat pan or to be able to roll it out. I don't see myself hitting pan on this shadow, to be honest. They are so hard pressed. I used it as a liner today and I really like how it looks, but it's staying and I'm not mad about it. I love blue eyeshadow. The last completely randomizable shadow that I had comes from the Catrice Lavender Breeze palette, and I rolled in the shade Gorgeous right here. I have a tiny dip in this. These are also very shallow pans. Um, and I'm surprised I didn't hit pan on this sooner, but I use a fluffy brush with it, so that's probably why. There's a tiny dip, but I don't know if you'll be able to pick up on that. I used this 7 times this past month. For the prompt-based shadows, I had the first prompt starts with the letter F, and I had rolled in the Moon Spell palette, the shade Fiona. It's been in for 3 months, so this is the only one that didn't roll or that rolled over last month. These are very, very deep. Here's the shade Fiona. There's a huge dip in this. I used it mainly as a liner. Um, but there's no pan. These are very, very deep. The pans in the Lunar Beauty palettes are very, very deep. But I did use this 8 times since the last update for a total of 15 uses. So I am going to roll this out. For my 15 use goal is met. So she is gonna roll out after 3 months. The second prompt-based shadow came in for the prompt monochromatic, and I decided to roll in the Revolution Forever Flawless Ice palette because this is a monochromatic blue palette. And I rolled in the shade Icicle up here, and I hope you'll be able to see that I did heat pan on this. I had a dip in this shade already uh, in my last update, but I did heat pan on it. I used it 7 times since the last update, and it has pan. It is a beautiful, beautiful shadow. It's like this kind of color is my favorite color of all time, and I'm very, very happy that I hit pan on it. And lastly, for my focus palette is something that I added last update and I decided I wanted to do. And I chose my second oldest palette, so you know my oldest palette, the Mono Renaissance, I am trying to finish. It's my Panda palette. But this is my second oldest palette, and it's the Urban Decay Naked palette. And this is my focus palette. I'm trying to hit pan in every shade in this palette. And I rolled in the shade Toasted last month. There is a dip in the shade Toasted. This is the shade that I used the most, or this one and the Pastel Tropics one. I used this 10 times this past month. Uh, it's getting a lot more powdery than it was when I first got this palette. Again, it's old, and it's getting a bit powdery, but still the pans are really deep. So the 15 use gold does not uh, work with the focus palette because I'm trying to hit pan in every shade. So I'm gonna work on one shade till I hit pan on it and move on to the next shadow. So yeah, I think I have like at least 15 more uses for this shade, but I have been using it a lot. It works with pretty much anything. I can use it as a liner, I can use it as a topper, I can use it on the lower lash line, I can use it all over the lid, I can use it on the outer corner like I'm today. I can use it so many ways and it works with pretty much anything. So I'm not mad about it. That means we have 3 rollouts. We have one rollout for one completely randomizable shadow, and we have 2 prompts. So 3 rollouts. I'm gonna swatch my old color story, and we will move on to rolling new shadows. Alright, so I swatched out my color story from last update. This is what it looked like. It was a beautiful color story. I hope you'll be able to see, especially the shade Icicle right here. It's beautiful. So we have the Pastel Tropic shade 3, which is just a lid setting shade. Dumbo Ice. We have Gorgeous. Yes, Gorgeous, Fiona, Icicle, and Toasted. But let's jump into randomizing some new products and see what this color story is gonna look like. So let's randomize the palette first. I have my Tiny Decisions app up, and we're gonna randomize a palette. the Revolution Chandler palette. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. And then 2 prompts. What are we getting? The letter G. Alright. And a mainstream brand shadow. Alright. I will go and grab the products and I'll be right back. I'm back and I have my shadows. But first, we're gonna generate the shadow from the Chandler palette from Revolution. It's a 9-pan palette, but I have heat pan on the shade Erica. So we have 8 shadows to choose from, and I have my Pretty Random app ready. Shade number 3. So that's the shade Bigger Boat. I'm gonna swatch it next to Dumbo Eyes to see how similar they are. They are pretty similar. No, this one is a bit like True Blue, like the Revolution one. Because this is more like a aqua sort of shade. And this is a bit lighter. But I think I'm gonna roll something else because I would use them the exact same way and they're both blue. So I'm gonna roll again. The shade number 5, that is the shade The Box, which is a light green shimmer. I can do that. So that's the shade we're gonna roll in. As of the prompts, I got the first prompt I got was the letter G, and I decided to go with another Revolution palette. This is the Decadent palette, and I decided to go with the shade Gleam, which is up right here. It's just a gold shimmer, and I'm gonna do that one because I want to reach for palettes that don't have pans in them yet, and this one does not. So that's what we're going for. And for a mainstream brand shadow, I decided to pick the Essence Out in the Wild palette. I think that counts. And also this palette does not have pan on it yet. I will go with the dark green shadow in the palette. Because we're rolling out the dark shadow, I decided to roll in another dark shadow. I'm not panning a lot of deep shades, and I could use this as a liner. And yeah, I'm gonna roll that one in. So I'm gonna swatch my new color story and be right back. Alright, and here is my new color story. So we have Dumbo Eyes, Gorgeous, Toasted, this is the shade The Box, or is that also called Gorgeous? No, that's called Gleam. Yep. Gleam and the Essence Matte Green Shadow. That is my new color story. I'm very, very excited to see what I can come up with. Yeah, I think these two will look really nice together. With maybe this as a liner. I don't know. We'll see. I'll play around with these shadows, and I'll come up here in a month to share how I did. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss out on my future updates for this project and the many other ones I'm doing on this channel. And we'll see you next time. Bye!